quarterback. Here's the dang deal now. Jake Fisher.
For the Patriots.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Jake Fisher says that the 76ers are looking to move Kelly Oubre. Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey then says, here's 4 teams that he could go to. Based on what? I don't know. Jake Fisher's report is based on things that are happening. And then Andy Bailey does, and we do it sometimes on the radio too. He's just like, I don't know, maybe this could happen. So he lists the Kings as a potential landing spot for Kelly Oubre. And I'm sure you've seen it, Jay, on X. There are a handful, at least, of Kings fans on X like, oh, make it happen, Scott Perry. Kelly Oubre, let's bring him in. And I'm here to tell you, no, we don't want that. Please, no. Please don't make that happen. And please stop talking about it, because you never know. The more you talk about it, maybe you're making it more likely to happen. You don't want it. I have nothing against Kelly Oubre. There was a time when he was one of my favorite players. I like Kelly Oubre.
Really?
A lot of people like Kelly Oubre. Let's be honest. He's a good-looking guy, and I think that's one reason people seems like, ooh, he's cool. He had his own CarMax commercial. Remember that one?
No, yes. I don't remember that.
It was the one where he went in. I was talking with Kyle Ledbetter about this yesterday because, Steph had him, and, yeah, Steph deserves a commercial.
Sure.
And Sue Bird,
okay,
a number of WNBA greats they were in these CarMax commercials.
Kelly Oubre was in a CarMax
Zach
commercial?
LaVine was in one. And then Kelly Oubre was in one where he says, a car for me? The guy goes, I'm not seeing an Oubre. And he said, try Tsunami Poppy.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, Tsunami Poppy.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that going, okay, why is he in a CarMax commercial? What has he done?
I don't know.
He was with
the same agent as Steph Curry and Zach LaVine.
Maybe so. This would be another one of these guys, Jay, who I think would be someone that other teams just don't really want. And, the Kings have a soft spot for those guys. I'm sorry to say it. Yeah, he averaged, 15 a game last 2 years, and he's got some size, 6'8", some athleticism. He just is not a good shooter. And a former coach, and not Jerry Reynolds, a former coach told me about him once when he was with the Warriors. Former coach said, yeah, Kelly Oubre, never confuse activity with accomplishment. So nice players carved out a nice career. I don't have anything against him. I know that when he was with the Warriors, he's like, I'm a starter. When they had Klay Thompson coming back and they talked about, maybe we keep him, he'll come off the bench. He's like, no, I'm a starter. Some of his teammates didn't take too kindly to that. I wish him the best, but not here. He just doesn't help you, Jay. He would not help the Kings win games. Sure, he would. Well, he's kind of a front court player, and they need front court players. No, you don't want him here.
Well, I think you've made your point be known. He's a small forward on paper, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's 6'8". He's listed as 6'8".
Yeah.
But he plays like he's a small forward.
He's a 3.
Yeah.
He's a wing 3 that just is not a good shooter. So
he's a slasher.
Yeah.
So to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see how many shots he got up last year per game. Let me see. Field goal attempts. Whew. That's pretty high. That was for Philadelphia, though, because they were banged up.
Yeah.
12.4 last year, and the year before that, 12.9. So he's putting up 12 to 13 shots a game.
And not making a ton of them.
No. The year before that, man, he put up 17 a game.
Yeah.
12, 13, 14. He's a high volume guy.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Well, he's not a high volume, but he's a medium volume guy.
I think he's one of those guys who probably is not as good as he is in his own mind. And I'm not making fun of him.
Yeah.
That's the way some of these guys make it in the NBA. Is that like they've got that confidence. That's not a bad thing. But he also is not great in a motion type offense. And if Doug wants to, share the ball more, I don't think he'd be a good fit here. That's all. Yeah.
I was trying to see, and really, I guess he's kind of he was brought into the league. Obviously, he was drafted high by Washington.
Very high.
He was supposed to be one of their guys. He played there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to see if he's ever played a role where he's kind of come off the bench and had 12, 10 minutes a game, and he hasn't. Like, he averages 27 minutes a game. Last year, 34, 30, 32, 26, 30, 34, 29. You see what I'm saying? So,
I do.
And then when you look at what he puts up, now he's got some good numbers when it comes to points. As you said, his field goal percentage, he's a 43% shooter. 47 looks like last year was his highest. He was putting it up at 47%, 45 a year for Phoenix.
What I hear you saying, Jay, is you're looking to see if he's ever been a guy coming off the bench who's been like a really efficient guy coming off the bench, and that hasn't been.
Yeah, and not, maybe not even efficient. I'm just looking to see if he's potent, and has he ever played in that role? And when I'm sitting here breaking it down, he has not.
Yeah,
he's a high minute guy, and he's going to put it up at least 12, 13 times. He averages 11 shot attempts a game throughout his career.
Yeah.
And that's his first year, he was getting 3.3, second 5.6, 9.8. Those are his three lowest, his rookie, second, and third year.
He just doesn't do a lot that helps. He's not a bad guy or anything.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. Takes up space.
But I'll say this. Now, I'm with you in the form of if and maybe I've always said this, maybe me and you follow different people, because I haven't seen anybody talk about Sacramento. No one from the Kingdom talk about go get Kelly Oubre today. But I don't disparse what you're saying. I would say I'm not high on, and I'm being careful in the form of this because I don't want to disrespect the players, because they're in the NBA and they're here for a reason, 100%. Right? If you're putting Dario Saric and Kelly Oubre on the same, just one-on-one, you post them up there and you strip all the numbers down, and I know you can't do that, Whitey, and I know you can't take away IQ and everything else. I'm just saying, ball player to ball player, Dario Saric is taking an L for me. If you put Drew Eubanks and you put Kelly Oubre up there and you match them together, Drew Eubanks is taking an L for me. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
There's some people on this roster for me that I wouldn't even touch.
Saric is a guy that they might end up trading for him. You know, Drew Eubanks is a front court. He's like a center.
Yeah, 6'9", 16.
Saric is a guy that I think Jake Fisher may actually have suggested that could happen.
Right.
And with Saric, given when he signed, he's not eligible to be traded yet for a spell. You know how that works. When you sign a guy, you can't trade him for a period of time. So I don't think we're there yet. I understand that. It would just be moving around the deck chairs of the Titanic. I get
what you're saying.
He's better. Kelly Oubre better than Dario Saric right now? I think so. Yeah. Especially because there's a lot of people right now that say Dario Saric just can't play.
They stay healthy.
Yeah. So if it comes down to that, I guess, but just let's not get carried away and think that, whoa, that's one of the things I think we've done here in Sacramento too often. Here's a guy, and you can think of the players yourselves, fill in the blank. He never quite found it here or there, but it's going to be different here, and typically not.
Yeah, I'm wholeheartedly with you.
So I'm willing to meet you. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here I am saying, no, and you're saying Dario Saric. Yeah, he probably would be a slight upgrade from Dario Saric, especially if it's true that Dario Saric just cannot play.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a good fit, though.
I got you. Yeah, I wouldn't. He's not on my target board, right? He's not a goal for mine to go get Kelly Oubre. And of course, now, he wasn't released until today, last 24 hours or whenever it was done. Yeah.
No, he hasn't released. They're talking about maybe
going
Jake
to
Fisher
get him.
Says they want to trade him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say release. Technically, he's available. We have not heard from people that he is available until the last 24 hours. Yeah. So with that being said, he's not a goal. He's not an aspiration. He's not a target that I'm looking for when it comes to the Sacramento Kings. But I got to also keep it 1,000. He better than some people on this roster. If we're just talking about basketball player.
People? Plural?
Oh, yeah, dog, he's better than Dario Saric.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, okay. Is he not better? For my money, he's better than Doug McDermott.
I would take Doug McDermott because he does have one thing that he can do. I'm still not entirely sure why they brought him back, but Doug McDermott serves. I would go with Doug McDermott.
All right. Drew Eubanks.
He's not a center. So then again, it's positionally. Well, really?
Well, I'm just talking about basketball player, and hence that's why I said that. I don't want to get into the breaking down.
Eubanks.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the breaking down of the IQ, where he fits, the puzzle pieces.
You did say that.
Right. I'm just saying straight basketball player, talent-wise, if I was putting them together and it was, who would you rather have? Simple and plain, give me Kelly Oubre over this guy. Give me Kelly. That's where I'm looking at.
I understand.
But if I think we're talking about in the grand scheme of things, of a teammate, Can he shoot it? Where's the fit? Is his IQ there? Touches versus minutes versus space versus potential. All the things that you have to take into account. No, I wouldn't be hunting for Kelly Oubre.
Well, I think
he wouldn't be my target.
Yeah, pardon me. I think we can agree that it's something the Kings, they got to look at everything. And so, and obviously they knew this before, Jake Fisher's writing about it, but they're looking at it. So I hope it doesn't happen. What's so funny?
Somebody on the text line said, Whitey, you need to be drug tested, man. Talking about Doug McDermott is better than Kelly Oubre.
He's a better shooter. I'll give you that. He's a much better shooter. And he fills a role for you. It's hard to say right now he's a better player than Kelly Oubre. But Doug McDermott's a better shooter. Kelly Oubre is not a good shooter.
No.
But see you later if you're tuning out.
And we know you are a defense and shooter type guy.
I don't know why they brought back Doug McDermott. I'll be honest. I don't know either.
But that's your style of game. You love the someone who can put it through the hoop.
Yeah.
And someone who's going to get after it on defense.
Yeah.
That's your style. That's Whitey's style of coaching.
Yeah.
Whitey's style of play. So I understand why Kelly Oubre. And on top of that, you've had some history of not covering him, but being around Kelly Oubre for the Warriors. You said you've done your research.
Yeah.
I say it like this. Would you say Kelly Oubre when you hear his name? You're like, okay, decent ball player. Does that come to mind when you hear Kelly Oubre, or is it like, oh no, man, what are they doing? What are we doing here?
No, what comes to mind is a slight disappointment because I used to be a big Kelly Oubre fan, and I was there. I was covering the Warriors when he went there, and I thought this is going to be great, and it just wasn't. And he had his moments. I remember he scored like 42 one game with a broken thumb or something.
Hooping, baby.
Yeah, but it just was not a good fit there. By the way, I will agree. Kelly Oubre is a better player right now than Doug McDermott. Yeah. Doug McDermott, I don't want to beat the dead horse. I was a little surprised they brought him back.
Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm. I think, and I try to strip it down to the studs in the form of if we're just comparing each player. Talent for talent, like I said, ball player. But I think it's hard to do that because now, intelligence, common sense tells you have to talk about fit versus minutes versus what they do well versus what they don't, those type of aspects. So I understand where your judgment comes in the form of, well, this team lacks shooting. So for this team, for me, I'm taking Doug McDermott.
Yeah. But it's a little more nuanced than just which player's better. But you're right. Yeah. I think Oubre's a better player.
Kelly put up, he put up 2 years ago, 3 years. Well, it'd be 2 years ago. Put up 20 points a game. 18, 17, 15, 15. Like he's going to put up some points. Now, as you said,
not on this team.
Well, allegedly. Don't say it now, because next thing you know,
you're not going to get any shots on this. You won't have those shots.
See, I disagree, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Kelly Oubre is the type of guy, it don't matter who he playing with. He going to put up shots.
Exactly.
And so, and that's why I went and I looked at his field goal attempts. He's played with Embiid, 13. He's played with field goal attempts, even with the Warriors. He put up 14 a game. He's going to get it up.
Here's another thing I remember about Kelly Oubre. And again, remember, I was a big Kelly Oubre fan. Then I saw him and it was more like, he was with the Suns before he got traded to the Warriors. And the Suns were having not a great year. They ended up going to the bubble, when the season was shut down because of COVID. Kelly Oubre did not go with them to the bubble. And I think it's because maybe he's a free agent or whatever reason. It's like, he didn't go. So they went to the bubble without Kelly Oubre. They won every game. They won every
Kelly Oubre's fault?
It's not his fault. It just showed they didn't really miss him, did they? This is one of your big offensive weapons, and they won every game without him in the bubble.
Yeah, look, I don't want anyone to mistaken as if I'm arguing for Kelly Oubre to be in the Kings, because I made it very clear. I don't know who the hell's saying that, and if they are, they need to fall back. He's not someone. There's no disrespect to Kelly Oubre. I'd rather have Drew Eubanks. I'd rather have McDermott. I'd rather have the flexibility, I guess is what
That's
I'm
what I
saying.
said. I'd rather have McDermott, which is different than saying he's a better player.
I that I might argue, but meaning.
Wait, you agree.
I
said Oubre's a better player.
Yes,
but I'd rather have McDermott. Yeah.
But I might argue I might rather have Oubre over McDermott.
Oh, okay,
I don't think McDermott, just in this time for Sacramento, you could argue, well, maybe he hasn't been given an opportunity. Maybe he hasn't been utilized correctly. I don't know, but he ain't done nothing for the Kings in my mind.
Do you think there's any other team in the league that wants Doug McDermott right now?
I'd say yes, just because he's a shooter.
Okay.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like a lot, which gets me back to my thesis on this Kings roster. Player to player, just looking at who's a better baller right now, I'm definitely taking Kelly Oubre over Roy Al. 916. Kelly Oubre is definitely much better.